Hello and welcome to today's message. My name is Kata and I'm going to be talking about the big energy that is here for this week. We have a lot going on in terms of astrology. We have a lot going on in terms of energy, in terms of light coming into the planet. And yeah, I've made extensive notes. I definitely spent some time reflecting this morning on the energies that are here. I've been already feeling these energies last week, and I did mention a couple things in previous videos from last week, so check those out. But this week is particularly impactful, and it's going to be really, really important to pay attention. And really, it's just going to be super important to be open and to really allow. That is kind of the key for this week. So I'm going to be talking about several different things and peeking off my notes here, but I just wanted to first quickly say and just kind of shout out to everyone that has liked my videos, that has subscribed to my channel, that has followed me on this journey, that has been here supporting me and sharing and doing all that great stuff. Like it's been awesome. Like I'm so pumped and I'm so excited to continue putting out these messages for you guys. I'm so excited to guide people that need this type of guidance. It's a combination of like astrology and spirituality, mostly spirituality, but how astrology plays a role, of course, and really impacts our lives in terms of spirituality. I'm really, really grateful for everyone that has supported me along this journey. For those of you that know me personally, know that this has been definitely one that has changed my life in such a big and dramatic way that I can't even express to you. So that being said, I want to get right into this week's energy and what's happening. So tomorrow we begin the week. I mean, we begin the week today because it's Monday, but tomorrow we actually kind of begin the week in terms of energy because we have a massive, gorgeous full moon in the sign of Virgo, and this is going to be at 16 degrees 40 minutes of Virgo. A very, and it's happening at 7:40 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I was already actually peeking out at the moon last night and just seeing like it was a beautiful clear sky. So the whole backyard was lit right up with the light of the full moon, which by the way is actually a really, really great time to charge your crystals, particularly tonight with this moon energy being so powerful. So definitely put your crystals outside and allow them to charge up and take in this very, very high frequency energy that's available to us at this moment. So like I said, this energy is hugely impactful. It's going to be significantly impactful around acting in integrity and authenticity. So these two themes are going to be particularly highlighted and not like now and moving forward, but it has already been. It's like there has been this accumulation of this energy. There has been this buildup of this energy of how authenticity, I mentioned this in previous videos, how authenticity and vulnerability are going to be so incredibly important because it is actually the way of the future. And you can already kind of look out in the world and really see and notice how evident it is becoming how and who is not authentic. How other people are showing up, particularly in the celebrity world, people that are higher up in status and people that are definitely in the media. And so this is becoming hugely evident, I think, for all of us. But of course, this is definitely impacting everyone globally on an individual level. So it is time for us to recognize how incredibly important it is to really, truly be your authentic self, to show up in this world in such a way that nobody else can show up, because only you can be your authentic self. Nobody else can be your authentic self. You know what I mean? So it's very, very important that we begin embodying this energy and really allow ourselves to live it, breathe it, and function in it on a daily basis. So Saturn is going to be also stepping into the sign of Pisces tomorrow, which is a big deal. It is a huge deal because Saturn is going to be heightening this energy in a big, big way, asking us to have the discipline to maintain right action. So are you or do you have the discipline to really be authentic, to really become that best version of yourself, and to really show up in this world in your natural form, not in a facade or in a fake form wearing a mask. And this is going to resonate out all onto all areas of our lives, particularly relationships, particularly work, all the different areas, like I said, in our own orbit, in our own world. How authentic are you? So this also means that doing the right thing, even if others around you don't agree or don't do the right thing, will be crucial. It will be really, really important, because this is how we help each other. This is how we actually push each other to become more authentic, to become more real, to become less fake, and to be less materialistic, is by demonstrating to other people, hey, this is how you are authentic. Let me show you. And you just kind of show up as your best self, and you show up as your natural self. And you have the courage to say no if you need to say no. You have the courage to go against the grain, to just really do you on your terms. So this is also about taking the high road. It's about elevating yourself out of low vibrational situations, especially when it comes to taking your power back. So look at your own life in this very moment. What areas of your life do you feel inauthentic? What areas of your life do you feel like you're always doing for others and ignoring your own needs, ignoring what you actually should be doing for yourself? And, in what areas of your life perhaps are you constantly listening to other people and their opinions and their projections and perceptions about you, versus you actually sitting in your own integrity? There's a lot to examine here. There's a lot to unpack here this week. It's going to be, like I said, a real game changer week. The energy is now it's just at such an amplified high frequency that it's really forcing us to change on such fundamental levels, at such a core level, that you're not going to be able to escape this. There's going to be things that are just going to be so blatantly obvious to you that you won't be able to unsee it. You know what I mean? It's like once you see and once you have that clarity about your personal truth, you will not be able to unsee that. You will not be able to go back from that. There is no turning back. So again, super, super important to tune into ourselves. So listen to yourself. And if you long to reach certain goals and certain dreams in your life, what action are you taking to accomplish those goals and those dreams? And again, where do you allow other people to perhaps interfere with that? Even when it comes to setting boundaries with your own children, or setting boundaries with other people impeding on your time, or taking up your time. There are so many different ways that we need to establish boundaries that are a part of authenticity. And if we are not capable, or if we're not able to master that and to really see it for what it is and see how we give away our power to other people, then some tower moments are going to start to hit, and they're going to hit hard for people. It's just going to come in, and it's going to be so in your face that you won't be able to deny it. None of this is threatening, by the way. I'm just saying all of these things to bring awareness to it, to help you understand how much power you actually have to change circumstances and situations in your life, and even relationships and jobs and all kinds of things that you previously were illusioned to believe that you couldn't change. Pay attention to your dreams. OMG. All I'm going to say is I don't know what's been, it's just been nuts. The crazy kind of really weird dreams that I've been having are next level. And I'm needing to, this morning I was actually pondering, because it was a full-on movie that played out in my dream, and I remembered all of it very vividly. And I realized, and Spirit was telling me, read between the lines. Don't take the dream at necessarily face value, but look behind where's the hidden meaning? Can you find the hidden meaning in your dreams? And look up some stuff online if you want to get some clarity around certain dreams that you're having. What could this mean? What kind of guidance is this dream trying to provide for me? So paying attention to your dreams is going to be important. And you might, like I said, have some really weird dreams this week. I know I certainly have already. This weekend I was having super weird dreams, and then this morning was like next level weird. So, but at the same time, I could also see that whole reading in between the lines, right? And just noticing the deeper meanings behind certain things that I was dreaming. Because they are going to be full of hidden messages. So feeling highly emotional is going to be another huge thing that you're going to notice. You may have already noticed last week and maybe even previous weeks as we've been kind of building up to this energy, because now it's a completion or a culmination of energy that is happening with the full moon tomorrow. So, have you been feeling really emotional? Have you been all up in your feels and just noticing certain things that perhaps about your emotions that you have been ignoring? Have you been holding back in terms of expressing your feelings and really allowing them to shine through? Again, authenticity is what this will lead you back to. So pay attention to your feelings and your emotions. If you need to cry, allow yourself to cry. It's all about just allowing. That's what I started saying in the beginning. Like, it's all about allowing. Just really let yourself go. Stop restricting. Stop holding back. The full moon here is trying to complete this cycle. Not trying, is completing this cycle to really surrender and let go and start allowing yourself to be truly authentic as you are, without judgment, without criticism, without saying that, oh, that's not good that I do that, this isn't good, or whatever. It's like, let all that shit go and just really, really allow yourself to feel deeply and authentically. And also to allow yourself to actually communicate those feelings to others. There's something really seriously to be said for how we communicate our feelings to one another, or actually how we don't communicate our feelings to one another. There's something really important about that that I was getting in this morning's message from Spirit. So it's really important that we start to show up with our feelings, heart on our sleeves, and just showing up and allowing people to see that. Because again, it inspires others to do the same. We always inspire each other. Another theme here that I was getting was how Saturn is actually amplifying energy as it also moves into Pisces. So Saturn is really going to just kind of make these emotional things like explode within us. Like, it's like there's no holding back. Like, you just can't. Certain things are going to need to be expressed. So again, Saturn is initiating massive change, both personally and globally for all of us. We're going to be seeing this out in the world. So just pay attention and see what you see out there. Read between the lines. We're also going through a massive shedding process. So we are shedding both internally and externally. And I was getting a huge, huge message about detoxification, how incredibly important it is to really pay attention to our diets and really start looking at, what are you putting in your body? What are you putting on your body? Is that serving you? Is that supporting you? Is that helping you? Take a look at all the different products that you use. Look inside, look at the backs, read the labels. Are there a ton of chemicals that you can't pronounce? If there is, chuck that shit. Like, just get rid of it and start looking for alternatives, because I think now more than ever, to be honest, there's so many alternatives. There are so many different options that we have that we never had before, and more people are and entrepreneurs are putting out products, like really, really good products and really amazing and healthy and natural things that actually work really, really well in supporting our health and supporting our beauty and all kinds of different things. Frankincense is like my new favorite thing, and I use it on my skin. I use it all over my body. It's amazing. It's medicine, it's truly medicine. So pay attention to those things. But again, internal detoxification is going to be massively important. So cutting down caffeine, cutting down stimulants, cutting down sugar, just reducing certain intake of certain things like dairy, for example. I noticed is highly inflammatory. Carbs are highly inflammatory, so it creates a bunch of heat in the body. So there's so many different foods, especially processed foods. That's a big one that I noticed that absolutely has to go from my life. It's like I just am naturally drawn to healthier things, and I'm naturally acquiring this taste actually for like bitter, which I used to hate in the past, and now I'm like all about it, and I love the bitter, and it's just, I feel it's supporting me, it's detoxifying me. So pay attention to what you're craving, pay attention to what you're no longer resonating with when it comes to certain foods, and just really listen to your body and follow your body, tune into your body and let your body speak to you. Let it show you the way in terms of what it needs, and for like nutrients, and what it needs for vitamins and minerals. So paying attention to that and detoxification. And the other thing I want to mention here about detoxification is that usually the day after full moon is the best time to start a detox. It is the absolute best time. As soon as the moon starts to go into a waning phase, that is the time when energetically it also supports the body to purge more. So there's a natural letting go process. There's a natural shrinking, if you will. Just as the moon is starting to get smaller, so is the toxin levels and different things in the body can also be reduced at that time. So it's a very important time to begin a detoxification. And actually, that being said, I would definitely recommend for people to take this time, actually take today and tomorrow, the full moon time, to really just do a quick evaluation of like what you're eating and what you're not eating, and you know, how you can switch things up in your diet, and perhaps the day after the full moon, you know, what can I introduce into my diet that perhaps I haven't been eating up until now, or just haven't been having much of, and what are some things that I'm going to, you know, drop it for like 30 days. Make a commitment to do it for 30 days or 2 weeks or whatever, but like make a commitment and set a certain amount of time, like set a goal. Otherwise you're not going to stick it out, you know, and I think 30 days is totally doable. So go with that. What else? We're also going through a closing of huge karmic cycles. I've been talking about this actually for a while, but this full moon again feels like a huge completion, which last week I mentioned how for me personally, I have a family member that I'm closing out a huge cycle with that has been ongoing for 20 plus years. It has been a very toxic cycle, one that has been full of manipulation and control and a lot of other toxic behaviors, and that is something that is just no longer okay for me. It is no longer something that I can allow, and I've really come to understand, and Spirit has kind of shown me this, that you know, when it comes to closing out these negative toxic karmic cycles with people in our lives, or not necessarily just people, but whatever, right now I'm going to use people as an example. When you're closing something out, and particularly when it comes to family, can you just recognize that just because you have a biological connection to somebody, it doesn't mean that you have a spiritual connection. It doesn't mean that you have an emotional connection. It doesn't mean that you have a physical connection or a mental connection, right? So a biological connection oftentimes simply means that that person is, you know, has biologically contributed to your life, or you know, it's part of the reason that you're here is because of them. However, if that person has not embodied the characteristics of the person that they're supposed to be embodying in terms of and when I say supposed to, what I really mean here is love. Love is the only thing that we're supposed to embody. And we're supposed to because it's good for us, because it feels good, because it feels right, and because love is the energy that makes the universe go round. It makes our planet go round. So there are certain things that we need to notice when it comes to the biology and to the connection of certain family members, that if it's not real, if it's not authentic, if it is not based on love, then it needs to go. Because in order for you to become authentic, you can't be manipulated. You can't be controlled, because then you're not going to be authentic, right? So it's something to be mindful of. And it was really, really helpful for me to get this insight, because it just really, truly put things into perspective. And I recognize how soul family is not necessarily the same as biological family. So keep that in mind. Okay, another thing here is stepping up to be of service. You may be feeling a big pull towards your mission, so take advantage of this energy to move you into the right direction. Service is, again, huge message, like big clarity that I got around that for this week, and particularly, again, that has to do with this full moon. Being of service to others. How are you being of service to others? Are you being of service to others? Do you spend time, figuring that out, figuring out your mission and connecting to your authentic and innate gifts and skills and abilities and talents? And are you able to show up in the world using those and helping others and being of service to others with those gifts and talents and skills? Or knowledge, or whatever it is that you have, because that is truly how you are able to show up and to be of service to others, is by using those things that you already have innately with you. A lot of people that I talk to, I know, will often say to me, well, I kind of chose this career because, it pays well, or I chose this career because, my parents kind of pushed me in this direction, or because X, Y, and Z. And then I will ask those people, okay, so when do you get to choose what you do in the world based on who you actually are? Not based on what other people wanted out of you, or not based on money or finances or status or how you will be perceived in the world, but how you are able to show up with what you innately already have as a gift or as an ability or as a talent within you. And we're all born gifted and talented in all kinds of unique and different ways. And connecting to that this week in particular, and during the full moon actually in particular, will be massively eye-opening. It will be life-changing. It will help you to get clarity on your true mission, on your purpose here as a person, and how you can truly serve and help others. And of course, that service and that love and that helping others has to be love-based. It has to come from the heart. It has to be authentic and genuine and real. Otherwise it's none of those things. So that's another thing to definitely connect to. What else here? Tune into your higher self. So meditation is key. And yes, and I was going to mention meditation. So meditation is definitely the key today, tomorrow, this entire week, because the energy of the full moon is going to kind of ripple out throughout the rest of this week. So, meditating and tuning in, and like I said, connecting to your mission, connecting to that gift that you have that you wish to share with the world, whether it's art, whether it's singing, whether it's acting, like whatever it is. There are so many, whether it's counseling, coaching, working with kids, like whatever it is for you, it has to just come from the heart, and it has to be connected to love. And you will actually be able to propel yourself into your future if you are able to create a vision, and if you are able to get some clarity around that this week. So let it guide you to wherever you need to go. Sorry, just cheating off my notes here. Having patience with ourselves and your process of transformation is also a message that I received from Spirit of, just sometimes we really want to push ourselves to be, at levels that perhaps we haven't quite done the work to reach yet. And sometimes we desire to be in a certain place, and, we don't realize that it's going to take work to get there. So transformation is always a process. And I always explain this to people. You can't necessarily transform like that. You just can't. It's a process. It takes massive awareness and awakening to yourself and connecting to that authenticity. These things take time. It just doesn't happen overnight for most people, because there's such a process of unlearning that first has to take place before we're able to truly find that authenticity within us. So something to be mindful about is to just be patient and loving and compassionate with yourself as you're going through this process of transformation, finding your authentic version of you and putting that out into the world. Um, there's also an opportunity to receive downloads. So really tuning in, again, just going back to the meditation for a moment, allowing yourself to see the big and full picture to help you make big changes. Use your intuition to guide you. Like, again, connecting to the intuition through meditation is going to be key this week. You're going to get massive insights if you're actually willing to silence your mind, if you're actually willing to go within and really just ask your heart what it desires and how it wants to be expressed in the world. Staying flexible and open to change and to make transitions is going to also be easier if you're just open-minded. So flexibility is another thing that is really important here, and having patience with yourself, like I said. Spread your wings and allow your love energy or your light to shine really, really bright, and let it shine so brightly that people notice, that people outside of you recognize and see it, and they're like, dang, like, what is she doing, man? Or what is he doing? Like, they're just like lit up, and like you can feel that vibration off of that person. Can you allow yourself to spread your wings and to truly just embody the light within you and radiate it out for the world to see? Trusting yourself. We all know what to do. So even if the road ahead isn't fully clear, trusting ourselves, again, comes back to authenticity. It comes back to connecting to yourself on a deeper level. That's going to be hugely important as well. There's also a huge portal that is open, a massive light portal. And from my understanding, this light portal, it's like there's just such an immense amount of light that is pouring onto the planet and into the planet energetically at this time. It connects to Christ consciousness. It has this extremely high resonance of love, of unconditional love for all beings on this planet, for literally every plant, every animal, and every human being, everything that exists here. There's just this pouring in from the universe, and we really have an opportunity to capitalize on this, like to take it in and to absorb it within ourselves, within our DNA. Again, if we are conscious of it, if you just take a moment to tune in and say, you know what, I'm going to allow this light to come in, to fill me, to fill my cells and my soul to such an extent that I truly radiate it back out into the world and reflect it back out of myself. So take advantage of this portal being open, and the portal will be open for all of this week. I already was feeling over the weekend that the shift has been happening for quite some time. Like, I've really, really been feeling this amplification. This light is also activating us to become who we really, truly are, to step into our individual mission if we choose. And choice was another thing that Spirit was telling me, like, to pay attention and to reiterate how important choice is, that we all have personal choice, and that it is up to us individually to choose what is right for us. No one can choose that for you. No one. Only you know in your heart what is right for you. And the only way that you're going to hear what your heart has to say is by tuning in, by listening to it. So this is actually like a soul activation that is taking place. And this soul activation that's going to be taking place, and is taking place for so many of us, is actually happening because it's time for us to see past illusions. It is time for us to, especially the illusion of fear. That is like a huge one I cannot express. The illusion of fear and overcoming the illusion of fear is here. It's the opportunity is here right now. The illusion of other people's manipulation and their efforts to control you, all of that. It's like the veil over our eyes is being shed at this time. It's literally falling away. And I mentioned earlier, there's going to be things that you will not be able to unsee. You're just going to have a knowing that, wow, I used to believe that. I used to fall for that. I used to let that manipulate me and control me and rule my life. And now I can't. Now I won't, because now I have clear vision and I have choice, and I understand that. So, yes, so it must be a conscious choice through reclaiming our power and loving yourself wholeheartedly. So it's like, see past your own judgments of yourself and of others, and to move into this energy and embodiment of fearless authenticity. This is one of humanity's biggest challenges, to become so fiercely authentic, to completely surrender and trust that there is a higher power that is constantly guiding our life, that is constantly molding and shifting things as the energy changes on a day-to-day, hour by hour basis based on what the planets are doing. There is such a powerful shift here that we have been, I feel like, asleep to, that we haven't really recognized, even though there has been many previous cultures like the Mayans and the Incas and all kinds of different previous cultures, and the natives actually, that were very in tune with the stars, that really understood that there was a significantly higher power that is guiding all of this, and divine timing, and like all of this it all plays together. Like, it's so complex sometimes. I have a difficult time putting it into words of how all of life flows in this beautiful, creative, unrushed kind of way. And if you can recognize that, and if you can connect to that, and if you feel like that is truth for you, then that means that you are someone who is willing to start looking at life from a different perspective. It means that you are someone who is willing to be open to the possibilities that life constantly has to offer us. And you are someone then who is also willing to recognize that you have the power within yourself to change everything that is in your life, everything that has been unchangeable because of this illusion of fear that you have had. So just connect to your own power, your own abilities, connect to the divine light that is here for us, and allow this full moon to end cycles in your life that have been about suffering, that have been about pain, that have been about manipulation and control and fear, and allow a new cycle to begin, a cycle that comes from your heart, a cycle that begins with you and ends with you. It's this, I don't know, it's like this feeling of coming full circle to ourselves and really finding ourselves on a truly deep spiritual level. So that is my message for today. Definitely ride this wave, guys. Tune into the energy. Allow yourself to just be free. Be free of fear, and replace all of that fear with love. Thank you so much for tuning in, for watching. And I wish you guys an amazing Virgo full moon tomorrow. Have fun with this energy. Stay lighthearted and just continue to trust. Thanks for watching.